Welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast. How are you this morning? Yes, there is no confusion. This is George Anton. Yes, I am still on air live. My hair, yes, I didn't cut it because of the cancer. I quit smoking. Yes, hopefully to avoid cancer. And got this new device that this is the second day smoking free, so I'm not smoking anymore. You can watch the previous podcasts and see me smoking on a show nasty cigarettes every single morning. Not today, my friends. Today i'm vaping I'm vaping this device that actually got a good deal from Dawson. Shout out to Dawson. He's looking at the podcast, watching, listening the podcast on iTunes, Google, and everywhere, YouTube. And I love you. I love you. I'm happy to be here every morning. I'm getting ready to go to the office to pull 8 hours of work. Customer service representative answering phone calls. Hello, how may I help you today? Hello, how may I help you today? Usually people are upset. Some of them curse me, and I have to stay calm and talk to everybody and say, look, don't worry about it. This is just a delivery. There is nothing to make you upset, to be upset. Why to be upset for a delivery? You know, when there are so many other things to be upset about, which we're not gonna mention here. But we are gonna mention pirated Twitch streams hijack YouTube's pay-per-view Logan Paul KSI boxing match. Today, there was a little bit of a skirmish between the two professional YouTubers. Our dear old friend Logan Paul and KSI had an actual boxing match at the Manchester Arena. So yeah, about this match, I heard about it. I looked on YouTube because this video distribution is my business, and I have to watch what other people are doing in case there is an opening or an opportunity for me. I don't see none, but I do see the YouTubers very interested in Paul Logan and KSI. If you don't know who Paul Logan is a Disney boy who went to a Japanese forest where people commit suicide. Japanese people. And it happened when he was shooting the video to stumble over a guy who just hanged himself, a Japanese gentleman, rest in peace, in the woods. So he filmed him and put him on YouTube. So that's the Paul Logan became famous and controversial, and he started rapping about the event that the guy. So he became a rapper after that, rapping about the guy found in the woods with the Japanese guy. Rest in peace. KSI, I don't know who this gentleman is. He seems like a very nice young gentleman, ready to take over YouTube and box Paul Logan. Alright, so that's one. Because I gotta go through some pieces. Usually I do a monologue. You know, I sit here and before we have the Mr. Vitaliy Versace coming on on a line. I just inhaled. Oh my god. I went to the vape shop and I asked the guy, look, man, I'm quitting smoking on a podcast and I need the maximum amount of nicotine. His name of the young boy, 20 something years old. His name is Dawson. And he said, okay, I'll give you, and he made me a total of about 70 something, $80 to spend on this vaping device to put nicotine into my body through the lungs and inhaling so I can trick my brain into quitting smoking. This is the second day. No cigarettes. And it's gonna be, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna sit at the desk, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. No smoking. So this is the second day. I know from experience if I go about 4 or 5 days, 3 days usually, but after 4 days, so by the weekend, I'm smoke free. I don't even need this device anymore. I'm wondering if um, I'm gonna give it a present on a podcast after after a week when I don't need I don't feel the need to smoke. I'm gonna throw it, it's that there is something in cigarettes except the nicotine that makes you smoke and you feel that disgusting smoke going through your throat. You gotta get your brain out of that nasty habit, and that's what I'm doing right now. So look, I'm still puffing, I'm still having some sort of cigarette that I'm puffing in it. Is as dangerous as cigarettes. I believe this vaping is, I think, as bad. But hey, man, if I can quit smoking with this vaping, why not? So I encourage everyone out there to quit. Even though I was reading in the news, a lot of kids smoke this vaping situation. So I think it should be made illegal for kids. I'm not sure how that is being allowed, because this can give you something that is called popcorn lungs. The flavors in this oil that you're smoking in the vaping are the same flavors used in a factory where they make the popcorn. And they discovered the popcorn workers at the factory, they had a disease, a lung disease called popcorn lung. That's what it was named, because their lungs became like popcorn because of the chemicals from the popcorn factory that they were inhaling every day while they were making popcorn, putting strawberry, this is strawberry banana. So it's the same type of flavor used, chemical used in popcorn. Okay, happy eating popcorn. Watch a movie, drop a popcorn. So yeah, yesterday I cut my hair. I had to shoot a major scene. It feels fantastic. I had to shoot a new scene in a movie, Goats from the Underground. It was a big scene where it's very close, I would say, to it's major acting. It's Stanley Kubrick almost. It's unbelievable. I will show a picture later on here. You stay here, get ready. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna have a picture with commentary for all the podcast listeners from Mr. Vitaliy Versace, but that's gonna happen in about half hour when Mr. Versace is gonna come on here, and we're gonna discuss in detail my acting in the new movie Goats from the Underground, which I'm very excited about, even though today is a Sunday and I feel like, wow, I'm gonna go to work, dude. But hey, man, I really had a productive weekend. I didn't edit anything in a movie Goats from the Underground. which I'm posting an older screenshot that I posted already on the previous shows. But it's me with hair acting. So I used to have hair, and then there is a scene where I cut my hair on in the movie, because I'm gonna say that much, horns are growing from the top of my head. I look myself in a mirror when I'm brushing my teeth. My character, Goat Boy, Goat Boy is looking in a mirror, and then he sees the horns in his head. So then he decides to cut his hair. So it was a great scene. It was dramatic. I can't wait for you to see the movie. It's gonna be fantastic. Kitty cat. We also have a kitty cat. She's coming every morning here on the show. She wants to say hi. There she is. Okay, okay, okay. She doesn't like it to. She likes to be free and hunt, pretty much, and leaves hair everywhere. So that was the kitty cat. Chi Chi, or how you call it, maybe Cece, is the neighbor's cat. She likes to come on a show. Just before Mr. Versace. And now I'm doing my monologue and running a couple of news. And going over the weekend, you know. What did I do the weekend? The Saturday was great. We had the podcast, really long podcast. We did 2 hours and a half on Saturday. That was a long ass podcast. So after that I started editing, working on Versace's film, Taekwondo Kid. A new movie coming out, Taekwondo Kid. Great film. And then I put all the footage for the goats from the underground in one place. What scenes did I shoot? Did I shoot anything Saturday? No, I didn't shoot anything Saturday. Saturday I was busy. I wrote a couple of scenes, but I was really busy editing, video editing, dude. A lot of video editing. And Versace was happy by the evening with the product. I'm gonna talk to him. I need the money, man. I need the. He paid half, but I need the other half. So I hope it's not gonna be an issue. You know, with the money, it's always an issue, and I hate asking people for money, dude. When I go on set, like I go, for example, I don't have right now a picture to show you, or just go watch my reel on YouTube. Find me. I'm a film director and I'm an actor since 2006, SAG actor. The same union with Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, all these people. So, what the hell was I talking about? I lost my train of thought. Oh, with the money. So I go with the money. I say, look, I arrive on a set. It's not even, I just signed that the time that I got in. I know I'm gonna get paid a minimum $300-400 for showing up on a set. It's a Showtime or Stars or something. I go, I do my job, whatever the job is, and I leave. And then I get a check. There is no discussion. When you do independent contracting, man, like you're not going to work as an actor, nice, you go on a set and okay, what? Do this, do that, and get paid. No. You have to do the contract yourself. Hello, hey man, so okay, you wanna edit this project? Yeah, okay, how much? Well, I give you this much. Oh, but I give you just this now, and then I give you this later, and later never happens. And say, hey man, where's my money? So there's always a problem there, you know, with the money. So I would rather, man, just take my money up front. Do you want my skills? Do you want some? Would do some video editing? Hit the market, do something strong. You know, this is how much it is. But Versace is a friend of mine. I'm sure everything is gonna be okay. It's not a problem. The guy's gonna pay. Plus, it's not a lot. It's not like he's breaking the bank. You know, it's no. It's just small amount. But hey, it was a fun project. I enjoy. If it's a project that I enjoy doing, I enjoy. And the music is great. The soundtrack and everything. And I just have to do the sound leveling, because the dialogue here and there, it's not equalized, and it's a little bit hard work, but I'm gonna do it. I hope when I come from work, usually I come out, I'm so tired. I'm up since 6 a.m. So I woke up 6 a.m. By the time I went to the computer, ordered the put together the files, even this show is eating a lot of time. It's to prepare for the show. With the news, I have to look at the news every morning to see what's going on in the world. I can't just come on a show here and I mean I'm gonna do the monologue. We are here for 20 minutes, 16 15 minutes now already. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going for I don't know how long as we can, you know, as long as we're gonna be healthy. But um, it is eating my time. The show is good. It's good. It's like a profession. It's like now like I'm a broadcaster. You want it or you don't want it. If you're really gonna do it every morning, and if you're really gonna be on a show every single morning, right here, and broadcast live, hey, you're on a show. People gonna know the show is on every day. Doesn't matter what. Um, just to not feel sick completely and be in a hospital, unable to broadcast. God forbid. I don't have some wood. I gotta knock in some wood. But yeah. I'm not superstitious, but why not? Why not knocking on wood? Just stay healthy as much as I can. Come here, be on a show. I do feel the need to smoke a cigarette, man. I quit smoking. This is second day quitting smoking. Inhaling some of this new thing, vaping, but already my lungs feel better. I was coughing from the nasty cigarettes. I was coughing nastier. It was like and then blow. It was absolutely horrible. This vaping is much better, man. $40 investment. I hate spending money on this kind of crap. $40 I could have done something else, but hey, everyone told me. My cousin told me quit smoking. My father was telling me yesterday about quitting smoking. My father quit too, and yeah, that's what's up. Why not stick a little bit of a promotion here? Hey, don't forget to go and watch Born into Mafia 2. It's a good film, starring Jeff the Drunk from the Houston Show. That's a film I've done. And soon, like I promised, I don't have Jeff the Drunk in this movie, Goats from the Underground. It's just me acting, shooting right now. the movie Goats from the Underground. But yeah, I would love to have Jeff the Drunk in the movie. Look, this is myself and Jeff the Drunk by the Hollywood sign. Crazy. Hey man, you gotta be kind of crazy. I have to do, I have to tell you, this is it's one of the, but you have to be crazy in a sense, realistic. Some people believe in it's gonna go crazy, famous or something. But I'm telling people in the beginning, look, I have no guarantee this movie that I'm making right now is gonna be a success. There is nothing. There are no guarantees. Okay, this is a project. Any movie that you're making that it doesn't have distribution signed, already sold, insured, there is no, that's not a movie. First of all, that's, I mean, it is something that you're making like a video. If it becomes a movie, good for you, you got lucky, good for you. But if it's not if it's just like it's a video that nobody's gonna watch. I was telling you yesterday on a show about a movie with Johnny Depp that is now owned by the banks, and the banks are trying to sell the movie with Johnny Depp. Like, who's buying? Put it online, let's see if anybody's gonna watch it. New movie with Johnny Depp distributed by the banks, because the company defaulted. It went bankrupt, the production company. So banks should open a streaming service. Failed movies by the banks, starring Johnny Depp and whomever. It's tough. It's a tough market right now. You see, now we have Logan Paul, KSI. Should be a movie with them, I guess. Johnny Depp and KSI. Starring Johnny Depp, Paul Logan, and KSI in this new production directly from Hollywood. Yeah, well, Paul Logan, he is an actor from Disney. He was like a little child actor, and now he had that stunt on in the woods with a guy who hanged himself, and now he's famous, and he became an actor like Johnny Depp. So maybe it's time for Johnny Depp to make room for KSI and Paul Logan. You know, if the bank can sell the movie, dude. I was reading yesterday the company went bankrupt, and now the banks own the movie. So, oh my god, not again, man. I pulled sometimes every morning. I say, dude, if you don't see a piece of news that interests you, don't pull it out, because there's no point even to talk about it on a show. You know, about something that I'm not interested in ingesting. Something about Robert Tick, okay? Well, and his girlfriend April. So this guy's like 40 years old. He's got a 20-year-old girlfriend. The singer, 41, and his model girlfriend. Second child on the way. So good for him, man. Nice life, nice kitty cat. Nice life, nice girlfriend. So they announced a baby girl. So this is not a piece of news that I'm really interested. Like, why would I be really interested in Robert Tick's got a baby? Maybe that's just for short like this, for like a second, and then just move on. Right? Move on to the next piece. Like these people too. I know they're famous. Jay-Z and Beyonce. Yes, they're famous, they're amazing, but I don't know of them. I have no connection whatsoever with Jay-Z and Beyonce. I have more connection with a goat than I have with Jay-Z and Beyonce. I have more connection with this kitty cat right here than her name is Chichi. I have a kitty cat coming on a podcast. She likes me to pet her, and I am. Yeah, man. Another piece of news about Jay-Z, because a fan charged them, and the fan tried to attack Jay-Z and Beyonce, but he was apprehended by the authorities. So yeah, that's what happened. I know if I would have Versace man on the air right now, we still have 15 minutes to go to fill in my monologue before we can get him on the air. But that's okay. I just made the stunt. I pulled the cat up, because I wanted to keep it on YouTube. Dude, nobody's watching on YouTube. It's the more people listening to the podcast, but and they're watching on LinkedIn. I put the videos also on LinkedIn, and all the LinkedIn people can watch the kitty cat. I love this kitty cat. She comes here every morning, but she leaves a lot of hair, and I took it up to put some hair on my suit, just to show it the kitty cat on YouTube. Keep it as a memory, you know what I'm saying? I like that. That's what this podcast is. It's my memory. I really believe in this scanning technology in the future. When I'm dead, they can pull out as much information who they, someone in my family, my grandchild or somebody, my daughter's children and children. Maybe they're gonna pull out and say, hey, who was this guy? Our grandfather, George Anton. Oh, this dude, it's crazy. He was doing some podcast every morning. Oh, pulled all those podcasts and create me a virtual George Anton. Based on his behavior and how he talks, how he thinks. What can you extract from this podcast? Facial expressions, with hair, with no hair, in good mood, in bad mood, his accent, his facial expressions, like to scan. See, I'm turning my head to scan the entire my entire bald head for for future technologies, so my grandsons can enjoy me in virtual reality, when the original me is gonna probably be dead. So the idea is to get as much information as possible to recreate as close to the original. There's this guy, man, who believes in this. I'm telling you, his quest is to create his father. And I have actually a movie. I don't have a screenshot here that I made. His name is Rick Kurtz. What's his name? Kurzweil. Um, Damn, I forgot his first name. He's the head of the artificial intelligence at Google right now. Kurzweil. But I forget his first name, and I did a movie about him. Actually, pretty successful. He's running now on Amazon and YouTube. about singularity. That's what the guy believes in singularity. And when the computer and the intelligence and everything is gonna be kind of like, he believes is gonna be like the Borg from Star Trek, where there's gonna be some sort of artificial intelligence, super intelligence, that's gonna capture everything, assimilate everything. Then it's gonna become one, singularity, and it's gonna blow the fuck up again in the Big Bang, creating all this nonsense. But yeah, that's the guy. He believes, Mr. Kurzweil believes he's gonna bring his father. He has all the memories. He kept all this music. He's missing. I think he's missing video. I'm not sure if he's got some pictures. I don't know if he's got some voice. But he needs more of the personality. I think a lot of the personality is being revealed through time, through scanning. You gotta need deep information on the behavior of a human being. Like, I would have such specific behaviors that you will need to pull. You think you know me, but you don't. So everybody thinks they know me. This is the story as long as the history of this world, since I was born. I go and I say, hey, what's up? How are you? My name is George. Whatever. People think they know me. They make the impression. So okay, this guy. Oh, I know who he is. You don't know me. So it's gonna be very hard to know me. It's gonna take a lot of podcasts for you to get to know me. It's gonna take a lot of podcasts for me to get to know myself. Therefore, Mr. Kurzweil, creating an image of your father, at least to have a podcast, you know, at least to have a podcast. And I'm gonna scan my. I think I'm gonna send that for DNA. I'm gonna pull my DNA or something. Whatever technology is now new, I'm gonna subscribe for it. In the next 5 years, I'm gonna subscribe for some top, whatever the top technology is for transfer. So the idea is to keep this podcast on the air for 5 years, so you can see my behavior day by day changing, whatever is happening within 5 years. That would be amazing. This is I don't even care if anybody is watching this. This would be an experiment in itself, because the moment you quit, you say, why did you quit the podcast? Are you nuts? That's basically all you have. Everything else, it's gone. It's gonna be gone. It's a job. You go to the job, you talk 9 to 5 on the phone. Quit today. I can quit today that job, and don't go there. I would be depressed at home, sitting at home. Oh my god, I could be at work now, coming home with $70, $80 at a desk there, just sitting and talking on the phone, and now I'm home and I don't have a job. So I can do that. But the podcast, there is no reason for the podcast not to exist. Just if I'm too poor, if I don't have the internet to pay. Therefore, this 9 to 5 job would pay for, it's actually paying for the podcast. I'm going to a 9 to 5 job so I can afford to pay for a place, for whatever, my life, and for this podcast. I'm paying for this podcast. I'm investing. And I think it is the best investment that I am doing with the mornings of my life. Like with 1 hour in the morning with my life. Just being here on this podcast. I just want to be here. Do you have a problem with that? No. Do you want to listen? No. Like I had a friend of mine, I sent him, George, come on man, I'm going to give it to you straight. Who's going to listen to this podcast, to two guys talking 1 hour and a half? I'm going to listen, man. The future is going to listen. It's just for the fact that I want this to be recorded. as far as the experiment of recreating myself in the future based on Ray Kurzweil singularity. When the computers are gonna be so smart, when you're gonna give them this video feed, you say, okay, take George Anton videos and audio, the way he talks, the way he behaves, the way he looks, and scan all this and create me the best George Anton you can. And that is available only through deep scanning, which gets you closer to the reality, to the real me that I used to be, that I am now, talking in the future. But I'm gonna be honest, there's gonna be a lot of creations like this that they're gonna be totally fictional. So would be an attraction to it. There's still gonna be a robot. So I don't know if it's gonna be more interesting to meet a robot that is closer to the behavior of a human, or a totally new generated robot based on multiple people's behaviors, and you get traits from every person. you know you get some from Jimmy Kimmel, you get some from all these guys that they're famous, and girls, and you just create one personality, one big personality, one big artist. You take Brad Pitt and all this bunch of big actors, and you combine them in one personality, and you create something even bigger than George Anton. Like, why would you watch a virtual George Anton versus a virtual Brad Pitt mixed with Guy Ritchie, mixed with Martin Scorsese and Oliver Stone and I don't know who, Kirk Douglas or somebody. You know what I mean? Like, that would be the biggest actor. Where am I gonna pick? This robot or George Anton robot? I'm gonna pick the better one. The ones that they're gonna pick the George Anton, that's what I'm saying. This is really just one experiment for my family, where they can scan me and they can pull me and say, oh, okay, who is this guy? Who is the real George Anton? How was he? So I think the podcast is cool. I like it. And wow, we're getting closer to get Mr. Vitaliy Versace on the air. This is the sound of the popcorn lungs. Listen. He's choking. He's choking me. I don't know, but I'm getting that nicotine, I'm telling you. I asked this guy in a vape shop, Dawson, I said, dude, give me the highest amount of nicotine, because he was asking me what do I want. I said, first, I don't want any flavors, because I don't want to get popcorn lungs. He said, I don't have without flavor. I thought, damn. Okay, give me strawberry banana. What the hell? If I'm quitting with these chemicals, at least to ingest more chemicals until I quit the real look, the real smoking, that was nasty. Like, even now that I'm thinking, this is just the second day I quit smoking on a podcast. This is the second day that I am smoking just nicotine from vaping. So I invested money into this, $40 into this device that burns, as you can hear. It's choking me. It burns some kind of oil, and then when I inhale it, I get nicotine into my system, into my blood, through my lungs, and this is helping me quit smoking. I quit smoking in 2004 when I first landed in America. I landed on Manon, you believe it or not. That's actually cool. I wrote it even in a script that I wrote. This event, just July 4. the Independence Day. That's the day that I landed in America on July 4th, 2004. I remember I was in a plane, and I looked at my the date of my phone. I came with my CDs and everything, all my data from Romania, because I was getting ready for digital here. And I was looking at the day. I said, "Wow, it's July 4th. It's the Independence Day." And I was looking over San Francisco from the plane, and I said, "Look, I'm here, man. I'm ready to conquest Hollywood." That was a beautiful dream, dude. And then 1 year I was home. I was waiting for my work permit. Then my work permit came. I was legally allowed to work. Then I got a job immediately at a lumber counter. I was counting lumber. And that happened until I figured out some things. I bought some cameras. I was reading about technology. Okay, what cameras am I gonna use? What am I gonna do? Because I was getting ready. I came with film school. I didn't come to be a stock count to count stocks and update the database in America. I came to become a filmmaker, make a movie company. And then I told the people there at the lumber yard that I'm quitting. The guy loved me counting stocks, and he said that he's gonna increase my salary to stay. And I said I already made plans with um, my love, my wife at the time, and we moved to Hollywood. So we moved to Hollywood, bro. So I moved to Hollywood with my wife, and I made a bunch of feature-length motion pictures, and I made a kid with my wife. I love my wife, so I wish her well. Is my ex-wife now. I'm going to a divorce. Terrible. It's horrible. But this is what it is. But I respect her. I wish her well, and I have a kid. And after all this filmmaking, now I landed. I used to make money, yes. Not anymore. Now my movies are generating less than $300 a month, and I that's not enough passive income for me to be able to make a living. So I have to have a job, a 9 to 5 job, and that's what happens. This is what happens to a filmmaker. If you want to be a filmmaker, an independent filmmaker, you have to be crazy. You have to make some crazy projects in order to succeed. And I tried. I connected with Howard Stern. You also need a bunch of luck, and dude, you need to work a lot. You know, the main point with these movies, independent films, to succeed in independent films, you do have to work a lot and make a bunch of independent films, not just one or two and then quit. You have to make a lot, and you have to keep going and going. You cannot quit. Otherwise, you're looking to, like I said, to make a bigger movie and do it with Sony, or do it with Paramount Pictures, with 20th Century Fox, where it's a per contract. It's got distribution already guaranteed, and it's guaranteed that it's gonna make the money. So you don't own that project. You just making a salary. So yeah, man. Good morning. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Versace.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
10 minutes. Good. 10 minutes early, man.
Yeah, dude.
Started
What can you
short.
do? What can you do? I started earlier, man, because I need time to wrap up and be able to get in a car and go to work. I don't want to be on. I don't like to be on a rush, you know.
Yeah.
And
So what's new in the world, man? Or you were talking about Fox, a big movie.
oh, I was just talking about independent filmmaking, dude. That because I was saying, I'm looking back, and after all this work that I've done, is not much. I mean, you can see the movies that I've done, you know, like you saying, but it's not like I ever worked for a bigger corporation or something like that. So it's just, I think, to make it in independent filmmaking, you have to make so many movies, independent films, and just do this without stop. Just basically that's all you have to do. Somehow, in in one's life, the
Like
financing.
Roger Corman.
Yeah, you need to find some source of financing from those movies, and to find a lifestyle for yourself as a filmmaker where you can afford to make those movies. So once I think it's very good for the young people, and highly recommend when you don't have you're still young in your 20s and you don't have a wife, child yet, to be family to take care of, to increase your budget. Now is the moment, to try. I mean, if you want to make it, but just do only that and try to make money out of it. If you started the family and stuff, your chances are basically dwelling to, maybe you have 5% chance, to succeed again. After you have a family and responsibilities, you have to pay child support. You have to. Who the hell is gonna have time for movies? That's why only in a weekend. So I was looking, man, before. I don't know if you remember that guy that he was coming to our office. He had a movie. He made a movie, and then he went to Slam Dance Film Festival. And at Slam Dance, he got number one. And then his phone was ringing off the hook. Everybody wanted his movie, but the only problem
Which
was
guy?
his movie was black and white, man. He made a movie about, yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
He made a movie about masturbation.
Yeah.
About a guy who masturbated a lot. And the guy who masturbated, who played the masturbator in this movie, he ended up being the main actor in the
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille, the cartoon.
So what happened? He got picked up now, or what? What are you talking?
No, that guy, I'm saying, I was looking at him and one of his friends, there were two filmmakers, kind of like us. And I was looking at them and I said, what the hell are these guys doing? And they were doing some kind of shorts, some kind of crazy stuff they were shooting in their houses. And I was working with actors. I was shooting in Hollywood with actors, and I was making on a stage and stuff like that. And I was saying, what the hell are these guys wasting their time? They are like so old. They are like 40 years old and they are doing nonsense movies, you know?
Yeah.
And then I'm looking now at myself, and if you look and you say, look, this guy is doing a movie, Goats from the Underground, is shooting over the weekends. And now I can understand it from their perspective. But of course, man, I have child support. I have to go to a 9 to 5 job. When the hell am I having the time to shoot a movie anymore? I had my chance. I did it. Now, to get
No,
my
but
chance.
the guy had same thing, 9 to 5 job. He was the guy was working as Bruce Willis photo double all the time. So I mean, the guy was still having a working somewhere for somebody else and doing part-time movies. So I mean, we actually at that time, one time in our life, man, we had that where we were working full time on a project, man. So and you're saying you have 5% chance when you have a wife, kids, and stuff.
Yeah, it's
I don't
late,
know,
man.
maybe
40s,
maybe
you don't
you're
have
right,
much than
man,
two,
but when
3
I
years
met
left.
you-
That's it.
Hey man, maybe you're right, but when I met you, I had 3 kids, man, and I was married. So you have to think about that.
But that's when
too,
you.
man.
Yeah.
Nothing stopped me. I was keep making movies. My kids were what? One, two, no, 1, 3, and 5, 6, something like that. And I was still making movies. Nothing stopped me. So it depends of your personality, I guess. of people.
At that time, I was working just 24/7, just making movies. I wasn't doing any other job, 9 to 5 job or something. That was out of the question.
What I'm saying, man, that we were doing married, man, with kids. We were doing this. So it's not like 5% chance. It's 50-50. And I think it depends of the person, how hard you work on that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, of course it's tougher. You gotta feed 3 kids. You gotta dress them up. You gotta take them to school. You have life. I mean, that was, me for last 17 years
Yeah.
with kids, and so I got married 21 years old, man. It's been what, 19 years? So, yeah, man, it's been a while.
it's very strange,
and
man,
get my Red Bull right
to
now.
have a life where, like for me, I really love video
Why?
editing and movie making, filming and video editing, you know, and
Yeah.
writing. So filming, video editing, producing, doing this type of stuff, and I need to find it, man. I think I'm gonna end up, man. I'm gonna go. I have to see a judge with my child custody and see what's gonna happen with the program when I can see my kid and stuff like that. Because this is killing me, man. This situation. And after this, man, I think I'm gonna have to go back to LA if after I get my schedule and hopefully everything is gonna be, you know, a peaceful resolution with my wife and everybody, my ex-wife and everybody, you know, so I can get to see my kid, bro. Very important. And after that, after I have this schedule, I'm gonna write my schedule in such a way where I'm gonna go to LA to the comedy store and try to meet these
Yeah.
comedians, man, and say, hey, man, look, hi, my name is George. I'm 40 years old, bro. I am a filmmaker. I know how to make movies and stuff like that, and you guys are comedians, and I would love to work with you, and we can make money together. I can make some product. So,
Yeah.
yeah, to try to sell myself in that way, dude. Like sell my video editing skill. Like these people, they would like if you're a famous comedian. I'm thinking that a comedian needs a podcast. Like we're doing this podcast right now. A comedian needs a podcast, right?
I
Like
don't know.
if he's a comedian, if he a comedian has a crowd that comes to see the comedian.
It could be YouTube. It could be everything, man. It could be a network. It could be a stage.
But
It doesn't
someone
have to be
needs.
podcast.
I understand, bro. But someone needs to film this person and edit it. You can. I mean, you can just go. Even when you go live, he needs an editor. He
But
needs
not
a.
on podcast, man.
Huh?
Most of these podcast shows don't have a video, man. I said not on podcast, man. Most
Right.
of these podcasts don't have a video.
Well, the podcast to be super to have to be successful, you need also a video feed and audio.
Well, I mean, 90% of podcast is no video, right? I don't know. I'm not a podcast person, but that's my. I think that's how it works. Like
So that's-
it's like a radio.
So that's a market right there. You know, to go to this podcast, they're all in Hollywood, dude. They all try to make it. So these comedians talking about, they are already in a network of a podcast with this. Joe Rogan is the captain of everyone. He is the captain of podcasting. The Captain Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And this guy basically teached everyone on at a comedy store to do podcast. And everyone is doing podcast. But not everyone has they know how to even if they know, they have the knowledge how to put the equipment together and this, they still need a person that it needs to show up every day to concentrate on their life and film their life and document their life for the audience.
Yeah, but this is a bad example right now because your podcast sucks as well, man. I mean, the quality is not of a podcast. So if you would make something amazing, you can make this example that, hey, you can use me, I can film for you, make this amazing, make a nice podcast. Look how
Alright,
it works.
let me tell you. Let me give you a little bit of an insight. This podcast, I don't have. Usually, for a podcast, you need to have a mixer. You need to have a set of cameras. You need to have a computer that can mix video. Okay, and then that computer is also used as a video editing machine and publishing machine. So you are publishing, you're streaming with that computer on YouTube, and you are able to use
I understand,
special
man, but that's not
software.
the point.
You're able to use special software. That special software has special abilities where I can add multiple phone calls on the line, videos, clips. Like you can make the podcast really looking really professional. If you remember in the beginning of this podcast, I had better graphics. It's because I had a better app that I was using. I'm just doing this
And I thought
for
you're gonna
different
get
reasons.
better, but actually, It got a little bit worse.
No,
So I
this
mean,
is the way I want it. It's just the way I want it. For now, this is just the way I want it. This is perfect for now, man. For this podcast, for what it is. I don't want it more. And for this, I'm just using an iPad, a free app, and another phone. So I have an iPad, a phone, a microphone, and that's it. So normally you need to have equipment. These people, they invest in the equipment. So when you invest in equipment, you invest in a studio. They have a studio in LA. So the idea is that someone needs to come in that studio to take care of business. That's all. And maybe there is a market. It encourages me that, listen, George, maybe you can quit this 9 to 5 job that you do, customer service, and actually make some friends in LA with these comedians if you hang enough with them, and maybe they're gonna trust you um, to give you a chance to shoot some videos with them and show them that you can improve their fans, to bring more fans to the table.
yeah.
Because these comedians, they already have an audience. They have thousands of people that watch them live on a stage. They watch them every night doing comedy. So yeah.
Yeah, man. That's alright. So what's new in the world? Or you didn't pull any news today?
Oh, I pulled, dude. Hackers target smartphones to mine cryptocurrencies. Has your smartphone suddenly slowed down, warmed up, and the battery drained for no apparent reason? You might be hijacked to mine cryptocurrencies. So it's just like a virus that gets into your phone and uses the phone to mine cryptocurrencies for people.
What that means?
To
What's the
make to mine for Bitcoin. The phone makes some calculation that is generating actual dollars.
Yeah.
And
Alright, what's next?
Apple computer, the original Apple One, they were only 200 pieces made by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, and now they are selling for more than expensive car.
Yeah, that's the Apple One, the first one.
The first one, yeah, only 200 copies made in the world.
That would be amazing to find one of those on the garage sale.
That would be amazing, yeah. Asia Argento, remember the girl, Asia Argento? We talked about her.
Remind me, I forgot what was.
She was the first attacker on Weinstein. She was saying that she was the creator
Oh
of
yeah.
Me Too movement in
Italian,
Italy.
right? Or French?
Yeah, and she paid that guy, the boy, because she raped the boy. She invented Me Too, but she raped the boy, and she was paying the boy to not tell.
Uh-huh.
So now she was dropped by the X Factor, Italy,
Good.
because they have an X Factor in Italy. Yeah, that's what happens. One thing. Tesla semi-truck, dude. Now driving by themselves, traveling alone across country. They have a big semi-truck, Tesla. What do you have to say about that, man?
Volvo has the same thing. They all advertise right now.
Trucks?
Yeah, the self-driving trucks, and this is the future, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
So for the truck drivers, pull as much money as you can right now, right? There's not gonna be any not gonna be need for much truck drivers in the future.
Well, they see what they do is that's what they said 10 years ago when they come up with the self checkouts at the stores. They said, man, they're gonna replace computers, replacing the people in the store.
Right. Yeah, still people in a store. The new politics of Hollywood sex scenes in the Me Too era. So this is for you if you want to shoot sex scenes in your movies. Very added pressures on shooting nude. Lawyers for actors are demanding more specific, ironclad protections in nudity riders, including the ability to sue for leaked footage. The idea of anything being erased from existence in the digital age is naive. One would think that the 10 months since Harvey Weinstein was outed for allegedly assaulting dozens of women, igniting a Me Too revolution that swept over Hollywood. So now you're gonna have problems. You have to be very careful with the footage. If someone in your crew, you shoot a sex scene, then someone in your crew takes the footage and makes it leaks it on Reddit or one of these websites, then you can be sued.
It sounds like the story with Van Damme right now, that they leaked the whole movie.
Yeah, can you imagine they leaked the guy's movie and it's supposed to be released next year in January?
And it's already leaked. That's crazy. I mean, I don't know, man. It doesn't happen a lot, this, man. There's people like Spielberg, and there's people like some people that are very strict about any leakage of anything even behind scenes. They don't want to. They don't want to talk. I remember Spielberg was making Indiana Jones, and one guy leaked just dailies or one page.
That's
and
a big problem.
Big, man. Yeah, it was like huge. It was all over the country talking, man, because the guy signed that non-disclosure and he leaked one page. That's one page of 100, but imagine releasing the whole film for it. That's crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely insane. Because it was also a small studio, man, so how can you control a small studio like that? Like the Van Damme, where they edited the Van Damme movie. And someone in a studio, they took the movie, you know, a friend of, who knows, he was like a cheap video editor that you don't pay him a lot of money.
That's it, man. Nobody had access to this footage except the editor and a couple other people. Let's say editor, composer, who else would be maybe the director, so 3 people, man. 4 people top. So you go based on this 4 people, man, and you find who leaked the movie. And when you find who did, you put them on the red list, man. You put them so everybody in Hollywood knows and nobody works with them ever again in that industry. Because that's what Spielberg said when that guy released the script in 2008 or 7 or 6, I don't remember. When he released one page of the script, that's what Spielberg said. This guy's never going to work on another set in his life. I don't know if it actually happened. Probably he works right now somewhere, but yeah, it was really strict. I remember Spielberg saying that, like,
right,
you know, you'll never work on any movie again. And I think if you release, that's at least they can do. I mean, that's a lawsuit. The guy can go to jail for releasing the whole film, because that's millions of dollars, man. That's a big fine.
Dude, it's a lot of money. Van Damme gets paid a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the whole budget. But it's not just Van Damme, and there's a crew of 200 people. Everybody got paid. Somebody was working on this movie, and
right.
Dude, there's a couple things, man, here. There's a possibility the movie never got leaked.
No, it did because it's available on all the torrents websites.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't. I didn't wanna. I love Van Damme, man. I met Van Damme on a set. I met Van Damme on a set, man. I shook hands. The guy walked up straight up to me and he shook my hand. So I love Van Damme, dude. I'm not gonna watch a pirated movie with Van Damme.
Well, this is a couple possibilities here, man.
I'm gonna pay for it.
Well, possibilities are like this, man. Either to get a publicity, and the movie never got leaked. Just people talking, they leaked something else. Or the second thing is that they watched the movie and they were disappointed. It's like if I would be executive producer, man, and watch this Escape movie with Stallone, right? After I spent $20 million, and I would watch it, I would say, man, I would rather leak this movie, man, because what's happening, maybe it's gonna get more attention, it's gonna get more review because the movie is very badly done. So he lost money. Even he didn't got leaked, but he lost money. So this movie with Van Damme might make actually more money than Escape. It actually might make more money than Stallone's movie because of this leak.
Right.
So you never know. That's my opinion, and that's what I think it happened. Because you have to remember, man, Hollywood is like insured. All these people are insured. So if you look as a producer, you get insurance for your company. For your
So you
footage,
think
for
it was
everything.
insured, and then they release this thing and they start suing so they can get some money from insurance?
Exactly. Yeah, because
knows,
they
man?
realize.
To me, it
somebody
sounds
did a
like a cheap
shitty job.
movie. Someone who just hired somebody in the video editing.
That's
And
what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. So now the whole world is talking about that. It's gonna get more attention, maybe make more money. Plus, the insurance is gonna pay off. So they might get the whole budget from the insurance back because they're insured. I don't know what's happening. I mean, I'm just guessing. We are just guessing right now, right here. But you never know what happened there.
well,
What's
China's
the
box
intention?
office, man. Ant-Man and the Wasp buzzes away with $68 million. The Paul Rudd superhero pick scored Marvel's fourth biggest China opening ever, man. While Warner Brothers, The Meg, he went towards 150 million. Finally opening 7 weeks after the US debut, Disney Ant-Man and the Wasp ranked up $68 million in Chinese.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
I
money.
don't know, Chinese. Yeah, Chinese like, well, of course, because it's 80 cents per movie there, man. It's not like in U.S. China likes, man, hero movies, man. China, they like Superman, this kind of Spider-Man, Superman movies, man. So, I don't know.
Dude, I gotta get a job, man, into this business. I just need video editing. Now I quit smoking. I think quitting smoking is gonna make me feel much better, dude. Like my face even from smoking, it was going horrible, you know.
Yeah, it's bad for
Everything.
your skin, dude.
My skin too.
Bad for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, your lungs.
So no more
I mean,
smoking.
people got lip cancer, throat cancer, tongue cancer. They got skin. I mean, a lot of things you can get from cigarettes. I told you last time. It says on your pack of cigarettes. It tells you right there.
Yeah.
Because they have to tell you. And people are suicidal, man.
Yeah, no more smoking, man.
Good.
That's gone. And I also cut my hair. I told you I cut my hair yesterday, man, on a show. I'm gonna show right now in premiere. I don't know if you're gonna watch this on YouTube or not, but please remind me the movie, because I was trying earlier, but I didn't want people to laugh. The Stanley Kubrick movie, it's a horror film, and it's happening somewhere when one guy is going crazy in a house, in a hotel.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
It's with oh man, what is his name, man? He's big actor, dude. It's one of our favorite actors. I just forget his name right now.
So what's the movie about? Tell me one more time.
This child, there is a child, and there is a woman, and there is a guy who's played by this huge actor. Can you tell me the name of the actor from?
Well, what's going on? I want to know what's going on. I don't. You just tell me only a child and a woman. I mean, you know how many movies have a child and a woman?
Yeah.
I want to know what's happening in the movie.
I don't remember, dude. It's a good film. It's a Stanley Kubrick, man. But I don't remember exactly what was the plot. It's written by Stephen King. It's a this hotel is full of ghosts.
I don't know which one.
And then there is a big scene. I didn't see this movie since I was a child. I see it only once. There is a bunch of blood coming on a hallway in a hotel, and this guy goes crazy in a hotel and kills everyone. And you see dead people that they used to live in this hotel, and these people are stuck in a hotel.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Man, I cannot.
Is it the brand new or old?
Old,
Because there's a brand new movie.
Old movie.
Is it with the black guy or white guy?
White.
Oh, you're talking about with this guy, with what's this guy's name? His name
Exactly.
is
What's his name?
huh?
Yeah, I don't have a search option. I don't have like I said, my studio is very limited right now. That's why the show is
Yeah.
bad, man, because I don't have access to information. Yeah.
His last name is Kursak or something. Kursak or what?
Not that guy, not Room 405 or whatever. Not that dude.
Oh,
His name, remember we were watching the Roger Corman documentary when the guy was saying, look, there are no movies without money. What's his name?
there's an old guy.
Well, he's old right now. I can't even think of what movie to give you with him. He was in so many movies that it's unbelievable known. It's just that I don't have the name right now.
Is he bald right now?
No, he's not bald.
Man, I don't know what you're talking about. Can't think of who you're talking about, man.
Okay, he was in a movie. Huh? He was in a movie
One more.
about Schmidt.
That's a movie I don't even remember what the movie about, not the actors.
About Schmidt is this guy that he goes in vacation in his it's a road trip movie. He goes in vacation in his home on wheels. He's got a truck with like a home.
By himself or with the family?
I think by himself.
No, I don't remember. Anything else?
Yeah, he did. Is that guy that he was with Tom Cruise in that movie when he said, "You can't handle the truth"?
Oh, you can handle the truth?
Yeah.
Is that...
Huh? He was playing a general with Tom Cruise. You can't handle the truth.
But what movie is that, man?
Few Good Men.
It's not... That's his name? Hugh Goodman?
No, no, John Goodman is different.
Goodman.
Few Good Men.
Oh, I don't know, man. What are you talking about?
The story was
That
about this girl who got raped. Oh no, a guy who got beat up in the army, in the military, and then he got killed. And then they were doing an investigation on a court. Who killed him? Who gave the order? And it seems like the